So Rabbi continuing the entry of binyan. He says, "Al kol panim lo yarbe hotzot binyanim gdolim, binyan avanim, aliyot meruvachim v'tzuyarim mechuyarim kedome." And he says, when a person builds his house, he should not overspend. He should not spend a lot on the cost of acquiring very nice stones, moldings, and decorations, making your house into a hall. He says it's not appropriate because it's all hevel reut ruach. It is all a waste. It's chaval. He says, "Ketzel yamenu ala haaretz." We are here, but like a shadow. We are here very, very quickly. We come and we go. We're not going to take these houses with us to Olam Haba. We're in the Mashiach Pidot. We're not going to take. Are you going to take your house with you? You just build your house. Mashiach comes. What are you going to do? You're going to eat yourself your whole life. I built that. I worked so hard. I invested so much, and I can't take it with me. Therefore, a person builds his house. He has to build it and has to have in mind, I'm willing to part ways with it. I'm not going to invest crazy in it because it's not worth it. Because we're all here temporarily. He says, you should do what? You should spend all that money that you invest in your house, just take away from all the extra stuff, get the bare necessities you need, and do what? And do with the rest of the money, things to build your Olam Haba. Don't only build here, build your Olam Haba. He says, Yushalmi, Shkali, most very powerful Yushalmi. Shnei Chachamim, Ayu Cholim Makom Makom. There was two rabbis who were traveling together. They passed by a town. They had beautiful, beautiful shuls. Really, Halakha says the shul has to be the most beautiful building in the community. It has to be the tallest building. So therefore, what? They saw a town that had beautiful shuls. Each shul was more beautiful than the other. And one rabbi said to his friend, it was his hometown. He says, you see, the people in my city, look how they spend for the shul. They build beautiful buildings. The other rabbi said to him, you know how many souls are in the walls of that building? That's what he was telling him. You know how many people they're suffering, and because they put the money here, and instead of giving it to the poor people, instead of giving it to the people who are learning Torah, you build this whole building. But what about the people? What about the people who don't have? The people who are dying in the street. The people nobody's helping the narkomana in the street. Nobody helping the people who are suffering, the almanot, the widows, the divorced ladies who don't have no one to help them financially. The guys who can't put their kids in yeshiva, can't afford to put the kids in yeshiva. And your building is a big, big building. We need this big building? We can have the big building, but why do you need to have all these moldings? Why do you have all these designs? Why do you have all these things? Because I like it. Rabbi, I want the best. I always want the best of the best. You know what the best thing to do in this situation is? What Hashem wants, the best for Hashem, not for you. The best for Hashem is to help His people build your house. Make it nice. It's fine. Do what's good for you. But for bare necessities, don't do it over the top. If you're doing things just to impress, just to show other people, I have like you, I have even better than you, the Pele says you're missing the point. You're missing the boat. Don't be busy only building Olam Hazeh. Be busy building Olam Haba. So therefore, he says, there's no people in the city who don't need parnasah, who don't need tzedakah. The rabbis, the avrechim, the kolel people, they don't need help. They're going to figure it out on their own. It's okay, build the building, spend all your money over here. Oh, come give tzedakah, give maaser. I'm sorry, I'm building my house. I don't have to give tzedakah to give. I'm sorry, I have to put 1.5 million renovations in my house. I'm sorry, I don't know tzedakah. How can you give tzedakah if you cannot give tzedakah because you're doing 1.5 million renovation? How could that be? The person has to think before he has priorities. He has to think, what's more important, Olam Haba or Olam Hazeh? If you think, all the Jewish people in our community, if they will give maaser, each person will give 10% of his earnings, just 10% of his earnings. We did a calculation once, approximately according to how many people live in this community, plus all the maaser they would give, we would have something like $500 million a year to go and give tzedakah and to go and build stuff in the community for the community. $500 million a year. That's a crazy amount of money to do maaser with. But what? All it takes is for a person to have priorities. We're willing to spend on Ferragamo, we're willing to spend on Gucci, we're willing to spend on singers, on beautiful things in our house. But what? When it comes to mitzvot, we have to be the same, if not any less. Because mitzvot come first. Afterwards, after you did your dues, you did your priorities, mitzvah tzedakah, he says afterwards you can start thinking about Olam Hazeh, but first, Olam Haba comes first. So therefore he says that what does it mean to be Am Haaretz? Don't be an ignoramus. Am Haaretz is ignoramus. What does it mean Am Haaretz? Nation of the land. They believe that this land, this world is all it is. There's no Olam Haba. They're the type who say, oh, who went to Olam Haba and came back, told us it's true, there's no such thing. That means you're Am Haaretz. He says, don't be Am Haaretz who builds houses and thinks you're going to live here forever, a palace for 2 people, there's 16 rooms, and it's a $8 million house. All these things, we need this. It's a must. There's nothing else you could do better with that money. So therefore, a person has to realize, don't be amaretz, don't be ignoramus, and think you're going to live here forever. Rather, invest in the place that's forever, which is Olam Haba.